I'm Tony Sklar with BNet TV. We're here at Mobile World Congress. I am speaking with FJORD's Mr. Olof Schybergson. How are you today, sir?
Very good, thank you. Very good.
It was a tongue twister of a name, but I try to get it right on a regular basis.
Really well.
So, being the founder of the company, why don't you give us a brief overview of FJORD and what you're doing here at Mobile World Congress?
Okay, so we're a design and innovation company. We've been around for a bit over 10 years. So we started the company in London in the UK back in 2001, and since then we've grown to 8 locations. So 2 locations in North America and 6 locations in Europe. And we work with a number of different companies for them, with them in a very collaborative fashion to shape new services and bring them to market. So our job is to take their desires and their inputs and create really fantastic, easy to use and delightful service experiences for them.
Give me what some of the top key elements are between you and your competition. Why would somebody want to come to you for their design elements versus somebody else?
So, great question. So there's companies that specialize in user interface design, and the problem that you have now is that interface is just part of the picture. So before designing the interface, you need to figure out what is the proposition, how do you make money on this, and so on. So we provide some strategic services that allow people to ground whatever they bring to market in something really valuable and something worthwhile. And then we shape it better than others. Now, you could also ask the question, well, wouldn't I go to my marketing or advertising agency to create this solution? And the problem there is that the mindset of the marketeers of this world is let's create what we call a positioning statement or a benefit, a core benefit, and so on. We invent the big idea, and then we push it out with control channels in a one-way communication style. Now, the world doesn't actually work like that anymore. It's not about the idea. It's about a number of different ideas that work over a period of time, and increasingly companies are not creating campaigns that hype up something that doesn't have buzz themselves, but they invest in things that create buzz on their own. So advertising and marketing agencies are so stuck in the legacy world of mass market, one-way marketing, that they can't actually create experiences and service solutions that work for a longer period of time and people are prepared to bring into their lives and live with on a daily basis.
So just to use a good example, there are a lot of different tablets or personal computers in the market space right now, but Apple does a great job in their design.
That's right. Yeah. So, it's a good example. So all of these tablet makers, if you take tablet category for example, there's hundreds of different tablets out there. There have been hundreds of different tablets out for a long period of time. Yet Apple is completely dominant with the iPad.
Right.
And the reason that they're dominant is that they have a fantastic user experience, but they also have a content and service play. And all these other players try and compete on hardware and features and so on. It doesn't work anymore. So you need to have a service and content solution, and then you need to package things up into a delightful end-to-end end user experience. Apple does that really well, and it's quite telling that the only other company that has managed to take any bite out of the apple, so to speak, in tablet is Amazon with the Kindle, right, whereby they actually lead with content and services rather than leading with the specs of the hardware.
Right. So why would you come to Mobile World Congress? What do you get out of coming to a conference like this? What are you hoping to achieve?
So it's important for us to be here to see the latest stuff. So talk to the people who actually made the products and solutions that are being brought to market. So a lot of companies come and release things and talk about things. So it's important for us to be here because it allows us to advise our clients about what actually matters, what works, what doesn't work, what are the trends. So that's one good reason to be at Mobile World Congress. Another good reason to be at Mobile World Congress is because a lot of our clients and a lot of our future clients come here. So it's simply a physical getting together point. So we do a lot of networking, we have a lot of conversations with our clients and prospect clients, but also other people in the ecosystem and industry. So we move forward together in this physical location.
So right behind us is a wonderful screen with some simplistic graphics, but I think you're going to show us some demos.
Sure, yeah, if you want to, yeah. So what we did here is we created a touchscreen display, but we also created some small objects here. So the objects are branded. You have the company object, you have the healthcare object, you have the financial services object, you have the entertainment, the telecom, the research and insight object. So you have all of these, and you can take any of them and place them on here. So let's take the company one, for example. So I put FJORD here, and then information about FJORD comes up. So you have a different number of different things that you can jump into. So you might go into about FJORD, and maybe you play this video, and you see a little bit of our history. So what are the kind of iconic services? What are the interesting brands that we've worked with over the last 10 years? So Orange comes up, then Lifeblog comes up, then BBC iPlayer comes up, and so on. So you might do that, or you might actually say, okay, that's fine, I understand that's what you do as a company, but show me some of the most recent work in, for example, healthcare. So then you might take this healthcare object, place it on here, and here we can learn about Christian Lindholm, our Chief Innovation Officer's talk at Mobile World Congress, or we might go in and look at some examples of work we've done. So this is Macaw, which is by US Preventative Medicine. It's an application that lives in your smartphone. It logs what you do, and you can set targets for yourself in terms of exercise, in terms of activity. You might also integrate information about your diet and so on.
Well, inevitably, this particular market space, whether it's within the mHealth arena or not, but the idea of designing a user interface for an application is got to be at the top of the majority of the client work that you're doing, because there's so much immersive interest in going back and forth between different devices, whether it's a handheld mobile device, a tablet, through to the television, through to the website, and so there are a lot of different elements that need to be carried through, but functionality at the same time.
Yeah, completely, and in fact what you just mentioned is one of the biggest challenges for many clients, because what end users expect, what they want, is a relatively consistent tone of voice and experience across these different touch points. So take banks, for example. So yeah, let's take banking as an example. So you can look at different work we've done. So we worked with a number of different players, including PayPal, a very progressive bank, BBVA. We worked with Citibank, did iPad banking for them, or MasterCard. So I'm picking out MasterCard. And of course, a credit card company, the traditional winners, the ones who made most of the money in financial services, was the traditional banks and the credit card companies. It's still the case, but there's lots of innovation and disruption. And then these traditional players are looking at ways in which they can either disrupt themselves or take a big piece of the emerging digital cake.
So basically what you're saying is, if it looks nice and it feels nice, people are going to utilize the services, and inevitably the companies are going to monetize things at a faster pace. If it looks nice.
If it looks nice, if it works well, and crucially if it fits my life, it fits what I want to do. So payments is it's a great arena. Everyone talks about mobile payments now and using a mobile phone to pay and so on. Very hot topic. Lots of players. Lots of talk about NFC, for example. Sure. However, cash and credit cards, especially in the US, in Europe, and so on, it's very well understood. It's it's available everywhere and so on. It doesn't take a lot of time for me to pay you with cash or with a credit card. So how do you disrupt that? How do you actually move people's behavior to a new way of paying, so the mobile phone? Well, NFC might be one way. PayPal's...
NFC being so new, there's a comfortability level that's still being introduced there from an educational standpoint. So a credit card is a great example.
Yeah, exactly. So NFC will come along, but it will take years. PayPal's former CEO said famously, NFC stands for not for commerce. So that's quite a big statement from someone who actually runs a company that makes billions in mobile payments. Right. So that's an indication of some of these things will take longer to adopt than you might expect. So my point being that behavior plays a big role when it comes to the adoption of experiences and technology. So designing for the expected and comfortable behavior is really important. So when we move from touch screens to interacting in thin air, like with Kinect and so on, then we start to potentially design new dominant gestures. So what does then this mean? Does it mean that I dig this interview, or I want the volume, the background music to be higher? Sure. What does it mean? So these type of challenges we're facing now.
So inevitably, at the end of the day, the messaging statement for you is that your experience stands for itself.
Yeah, I guess so. You could put it that way. Yeah. So So what we do is we take our knowledge in mobile, we take our knowledge in what people like and expect and feel comfortable with, and we can essentially couple that with anything. We can couple it with healthcare, we can couple it with utilities, we can couple it with finance and so on. We can create innovations.
So inevitably your growth model just continues as long as the ecosystem continues to develop new products and is always redesigning, you're in business.
That's right. You know, there's plenty of opportunity to do lots of stuff, and there's huge amounts of appetite for excellent consumer experiences, excellent solutions that are packaged up in nice ways that people can adopt. One of the things that hold us back actually is the talent. You know, we need the best people to work at FJORD, and finding those best people is sometimes challenging because what we do hasn't been educated in schools and universities and so on for years and years. So it is quite emerging, and where we operate is this wonderful intersection between, on the one hand you have innovation, true innovation, but then on the other hand you have mass market appeal. So most of our clients want something new, but they want it to be broadly accepted and used.
Well, Olof, first of all I want to thank you very much for taking the time and opportunity to speak with us here today at Mobile World Congress, but maybe there is the FJORD University that is the next step for your organization.
That's a great idea, super idea, love it.
FJORD University of Design and etc. Olof, thank you very much for taking the opportunity to speak with us here today at Mobile World Congress. I hope we get a chance for an update again in the future.
Thank you so much, really appreciate it.
I've been speaking with Olof Schybergson here at FJORD during Mobile World Congress. I'm Tony Sklar with BNet TV.